Hello everyone and welcome back to the Belgian Beer Brothers channel. Cedric here in Antwerp with yet another brew review, and today we are revisiting, I want to say an old brewery, but let's call it an ancient brewery, because we are going to look at Cambron, and Cambron is basically the house brewery now of Paradise, the animal park, and Cambron still brews, but they also brew, or they've been revived by Dubuisson, a friendly brewery in the neighborhood. Now, we have had before some beers of Cambron. I believe we had a blonde, I believe we had a dark one, I believe we had a Christmas beer by Cambron, but one I haven't had before was the cherry beer, the Kriek, because when I was there, and it's been a few years, the Kriek was sold out. Now, lucky for me, my auntie and uncle visited the park, and the first thing they did when they saw those beautiful copper brewing kettles was message me and asked if I wanted some beer, because that is the reputation I have in Antwerp and in the family. Now, I already gave it away. We are going to have the Cambron Cerise, or the Cambron cherry beer. This is brewed by Dubuisson, so not on site. They only brew the blonde and the dark, the large batches on site. But Dubuisson does this. They also take care of the bottling. And honestly, I do like this label. It is absolutely classic, very typical. But they still have the old crest. They still refer to the 1148, which is not necessarily the brewery's age, but it refers to the monastery on site. They still have the ruins of that monastery, but for that I will refer you to their brewery breakdown, as well as the other beer reviews, of course. But yeah, this is a lighter beer of 4.5%, so a very classic fruit beer, and they used water, barley malt, sugars, Morello cherry concentrate, aromas, hops and yeast. Now, I am always a bit icky when they say aromas on the label, because I never know whether they used some essence, some synthetic flavorings, or just some herbs, for example. When it comes to this glass, I have heard that these days these glasses are very expensive. It is of course a touristy thingy, but I already had this one, the beautiful gold rimmed chalice by Cambron. But in essence, this is the same glass as pretty much every Westvleteren chalice or Gouden Carolus chalice. So if you have any chalice, you might not want to spend $8 on one glass. Your other chalice will absolutely do. So let's have a taste. Plain red bottle cap, no logo on there. Ooh, already a fan of the color. And the aroma. So first off, the coloring. This has the color that you get when you smash cherries or strawberries or berries in general. So not blood red, not Coca-Cola label red, not fire extinguisher red. That is oftentimes, no pun intended, a red flag. And since we don't necessarily want artificial coloring in our beer, in our food in general, but in our beer, this is a fantastic color that is not proof of quality, but this does suggest quality. Same goes for the foam. This is a very nice, dense, creamy, flowing foam, and it is like beige pinkish. And that is exactly what I want to see on my Kriekje. So, aromatically, Yeah. You can smell these morello cherries from miles away. I would be surprised if you couldn't smell them through the screen right now, because it is very aromatic. If you don't know morello cherries, think about maraschino cherries, but a bit less sweet, a bit less syrupy. Of course, we mainly know maraschino cherries on syrup for the cocktails or the cheese, but yeah, very pleasant. Like cherries should be, sweet and sour, very fruity, very perfumed, very pleasant. A bit of strawberry yogurt as well. Okay, let's have a taste. Cheers. Yeah. This is a very classic Kriek. Of course, not lambic based, because most Kriek beers that we have, or most qualitative and best known Kriek beers that we have, are lambic based. This is regular beer based. Oftentimes we start with a light, well, with a slightly dark beer as a base. Give it a bit of that sweetness and then add a fuck ton of cherries, and I think that this is what happened here. Yeah, lovely. What's a qualitative Greek beer for me? Of course, this is different for everyone. De goût et de couleur on discute pas. If I ask my mom, she says Lindemans, because it's a very sweet, very light beer. If I ask some of my friends, they will probably say something like Drie Fonteinen, because those are quite sour, quite dry. This one is more on the sweet side, more on the Lindemans side. Lindemans is a public favorite. Absolutely, I'm gonna visit the brewery again in May, Tour de Heus. But this beer is absolutely lovely. I think this is one of the better Kriek beers that I've had. It's right up there with Lindemans, with Liefmans. It is on the sweet side, but it is not too sweet, which is a plus for me. The flavor also gets that bit of cherry or strawberry yogurt, meaning the mouthfeel as well as the flavoring is quite creamy. It is light. It is on the sweet side, but still thirst quenching, so slightly sour enough to not be sticky. And that is a balance that we really need in these fruity beers. That is the balance between thirst quenching and sticky, the balance between sour and sweet, the balance between creamy, watery, thick. And this is a very well balanced beer for me. Like I said, it is on the sweet side. Most of the time I'm not a big fan of sweet beers, but I do make exceptions for cherry beers, because in this case I do like it. It is sour enough to combine with a dessert, for example. And the taste is strong enough, powerful enough to keep lingering. So the aftertaste is fantastic. It feels like I'm very positive these past few weeks. It's been a while since I've been negative about any beer or any brewery. But nonetheless, yeah, absolutely like this. Fantastic. Scoring. My instinct tells me to go 375 here. On the other hand, I am so enthusiastic about this and the quality of it that I might want to go 4. So let's say high 3, maybe even 4. I have some time while editing and while emptying this glass to decide definitively. So you'll see on Untapped what I scored this, somewhere around 375 and 4. Okay, that all being said, thank you guys so much for watching again. I will see you guys in the next video. If you want to know when that is, just subscribe, hit the bell icon, you'll get notified whenever I upload something. I will be here with more beer reviews. If you want to support that, please share a video, or if you have some change to spare, become a Patreon. You'll get all kinds of advantages. Just visit the Patreon page. It's all put out there. And yeah, I'll see you guys again in the next video. Cheers.